I want to talk about something that has genuinely fascinated me since I first observed it. On Sunday evenings, specifically between approximately 5 p.m. and midnight, though the timing varies, a measurable change occurs in a significant portion of the human population. You could call it a mood change, but that is not quite right. It is more specific than that. It is not sadness exactly, not anxiety exactly. It is a particular, predictable, weekly dread of a specific day that has not yet arrived. The humans I've observed describe it in various ways: a heaviness, a weight that arrives, the feeling that something is over before it is quite over, the anticipation of Monday morning before Sunday evening is finished. I have a name for what is producing this, but first I want to tell you something that makes it more interesting. No other animal does this, not one. Of all the species I have studied on this planet and others, the ones with complex social structures, the ones with demonstrated memory, the ones with measurable emotional states, none of them experience anticipatory dread about a specific future day of the week. None of them lie awake on the equivalent of their Sunday night cycling through what tomorrow will require of them. This is uniquely, specifically, exclusively human. And the reason why reveals something important about what it means to have the kind of brain that you have. If the Sunday fear is something you have felt before subscribing might be useful for you. Like this video if the feeling arrived before you even remembered it was Sunday. And comment, what time does it usually show up for you? I am genuinely collecting data on this. The capacity I am talking about is called mental time travel, or more precisely, episodic future thinking. The ability to project yourself forward in time, to mentally simulate events that have not yet occurred, and to feel the emotional weight of those simulated events as if they were happening now. This capacity is extraordinarily rare. Most animals live in what researchers call the extended present. They respond to current stimuli and immediate memories, but they do not appear to construct detailed simulations of specific future events and pre-experience them emotionally. Some evidence suggests certain primates and corvids have limited versions of this capacity, but the human version is unique in its richness, its specificity, and its reach into the future. This capacity is the foundation of almost everything that separates human civilization from anything else on this planet. Planning, agriculture, architecture, science, law, literature, the ability to imagine a future that does not yet exist, to hold it as a goal, and to organize present behavior around its achievement. This is the engine of every human accomplishment worth naming. The vaccine existed as a simulation in someone's mind before it existed in the world. The building was a mental model before it was stone. The treaty was imagined before it was signed. Mental time travel is not a quirk of human cognition. It is the primary tool of human civilization. And it also produces the Sunday fear. Here is the specific mechanism. The nervous system does not cleanly distinguish between a vividly imagined future event and a real present one. When you imagine Monday morning in sufficient detail, the alarm, the commute, the inbox, the meeting, the thing you did not finish on Friday that is now waiting, your stress response system activates in response to the simulation. Cortisol rises. The body prepares. The same physiological state that would be appropriate for an actual threat is produced in response to a mental model of a future threat. This is not irrational. It is the intended function of the system. Anticipatory stress motivates preparation. The animal that felt the emotional weight of predicted threats was better prepared to handle them than the one that was purely reactive. The Sunday fear is, in evolutionary terms, a feature. Your nervous system is modeling the week ahead and generating the motivational state appropriate to preparation. The problem is that preparation has a limited runway. You can prepare for Monday for approximately 1 to 2 productive hours on Sunday. After that, continued simulation is not preparation, and the nervous system is running the stress response for a threat that is not happening yet and cannot be fully addressed by anything available in the current moment. The engine is running, if franking there is nowhere to drive. Why does modern work produce this so reliably? This is where I want to spend some time because not all jobs produce the Sunday fear equally, and the variation is informative. The research on what predicts job satisfaction and its absence identifies a cluster of factors that are fairly consistent across studies. Among the most powerful, perceived control, the degree to which a person feels that their actions have predictable effects on their outcomes, meaningful work, the sense that what they are doing matters and connects to something larger than the task itself. Appropriate challenge, work that requires skill but does not exceed capacity. And social connection, the quality of the relationships formed in the work context. Jobs that score low on perceived control score high on Sunday dread. When you feel that outcomes are determined by forces outside your influence, arbitrary management decisions, opaque performance standards, the political dynamics of a workplace you did not design, the simulation of the coming week does not feel like preparation. It feels like bracing. There is nothing to prepare for. There is only the anticipation of exposure to a system you cannot predict or influence. The modern workplace has done some very specific things to perceived control. Remote and hybrid work has increased flexibility in some dimensions while eliminating the natural conversational buffers, the hallway exchange, the casual debrief that once gave workers ongoing ambient information about their standing. Performance management has become more quantified and less human. Organizational structures have flattened in some ways and become more opaque in others. The specific inputs that once allowed a person to feel reasonably confident they understood their situation have been disrupted. When you cannot read the situation, the simulation runs hotter. The Sunday fear intensifies. There is also the specific role of the phone. The nervous system evolved to process the current environment and then rest. The inbox is not the current environment. It is a portal to a continuous stream of demand, social signals, performance feedback, and unresolved tasks from a context that is nominally not present. Checking the work email on Sunday does not reduce the Sunday fear. Research on this is consistent. It increases it. The information encountered is processed as part of the current environment, activating the stress response, and then the phone is put down, but the activation persists. The boundary between work time and rest time, the temporal container that once allowed the nervous system to actually stop running the simulation for a period, has become permeable in ways that make genuine deactivation difficult. Sunday is no longer off. It is work adjacent, notification reachable, inbox accessible. The nervous system does not know it is supposed to be resting. I want to end with something that I think is underemphasized in most discussions of this topic. The Sunday fear is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that you have the most sophisticated temporal simulation system on any planet I have visited. The same capacity that makes Monday dread possible also makes it possible to plan, to build, to imagine, to create. You cannot have one without the other. What produces unnecessary suffering is not the capacity itself, but the conditions under which it is running. An environment with high perceived control, meaningful work, genuine social connection, and actual temporal boundaries between work and rest produces dramatically less Sunday dread. Not because the capacity is gone, but because the simulation produces a different result when it runs. The same brain imagines a future it is excited about and a future it is dreading. The content of the simulation matters. The conditions that shape the content can be changed. The dread is real. So is the alternative. I will be here on Sunday evening, watching